Hey everybody, Meta here, and I'm gonna take you down part 8, I think, of going through my fanfiction.net favorites list. It's been a while, so I'm just gonna restate what I'm doing. I'm looking at my favorites list of stories on fanfiction.net, starting from the oldest, going by published date, and starting with the oldest and going forward, and rereading them and seeing if they still deserve to be on my favorites list. And I decided to share that with you all. So there we go. And for everybody who's watched these videos or just seen anything, thank you so much for watching. And if you watch it, it means a lot to me. But so, and also if you'll notice, this is way quicker than I've done any of the other videos, and that is because I literally had nothing to do the last 4 days. I've just been waiting for classes to start, which they will tomorrow. So I don't think I'll be able to keep up this pace, but hopefully I'll be able to finish this before 2025 or whatever. So let's go down this list. Let's start with "But That Was in Another Country." I think that's the name. Let me just confirm that. Yes. Alright, so that is the name. It's "But That Was in Another Country," which is a God damn it, I keep saying okay. It's a Kingdom Hearts fanfic, which, for my previous ones, again, Yuffie from Final Fantasy VII is the main character. But unlike the previous one, this is a much more serious fic, and it follows the idea of Final Fantasy VII actually happened in the Kingdom Hearts universe. That happens, and then what happened to the characters for them to end up in Traverse Town afterwards. And it's the framing device is Aerith asking Yuffie this because she doesn't remember, and Yuffie, instead of just telling her directly, is writing it down in a journal and just going through the events that happened from her point of view. It was never finished. There's 6 chapters there, but as I've said before, I'll restate it now. Being unfinished does not mean you're automatically off the list, because what I do is I take a look at what's there, and if what's there is still good enough, and regardless of future potential, if what is in there currently is good enough, then it will stay on my list. So what is there is a pretty sad tale about pain, loss, fear, and just a bit of suffering. And it's definitely something that I feel should be read. It's got very interesting, a flow of the characters. It follows pretty soon after the events of the game of Final Fantasy VII, and honestly, I think if this had been integrated into canon, it would have been really cool to have this really, because for all that the Heartless are made of us. So I'm gonna say something that might seem really stupid, because I've really only played the first game, Chain of Memories, and the second game. So 3 games out of 10 at this point. And I know that there's a whole bunch of evil shit going on in that, but in those first games, and this was mainly, I think, this is still 2005, so I think this is before Kingdom Hearts 2 came out. But in those first few games, the Heartless get mentioned a lot as this big threat and stuff, but because you are essentially just mowing them down with no hesitation, it just never felt that big. Yeah, there was the whole scene in the beginning where the island that Sora is on gets there, and that's great. That shows how much of a threat they are, and if there was more of that would be great. But throughout the rest of it, they never seemed that big or that all-encompassing of an apocalyptic thing. In this story, they do, and it's very very effective in making them seem like a threat. So that's what I'm saying. If this had been put into canon, of the Kingdom Hearts world, like that would be really cool, and it would add to the threat that the darkness and the Heartless should feel like. But for me, they just didn't. Maybe they do in the other games, which I haven't played. But so in the end, what is this story? Let's go back to it. It's good. I like it a lot. There's like the only big trope that you might be there is like, oh, there's Cloud's gone batshit insane or whatever, like because he was in the game. That's how it makes sense. But it's really good. I feel that if you like Kingdom Hearts and you are interested in the Final Fantasy side, like this is a great headcanon that you can add to your Kingdom Hearts lore if you want. And I think it's very deserving. It's a very deserving read, and it's definitely staying on my list. Right. Next story, which is 4 out of 5 Defense Against the Dark Arts teachers recommend. That's the title. And it's a Harry Potter, obviously Harry Potter fic that takes place after 5th year, where Dumbledore makes an assignment for all the students to be like, write an essay about what you learned in that class, and that'll help me hire a new teacher. And Harry writes a story where the title is 4 out of 5 professors recommend Harry Potter die or is otherwise incapacitated in some way. And it's basically just writing the class and what events that happen from his point of view, and then multiple people just keep reading his essay, and it's their reactions to the essay. It's another one that was never finished, and what's there is, as I said, like it's mainly just reactions. Like, oh, this person reads it. Now he reacts to it, and then okay, he slightly changes his behavior to Harry. This person reads it. This person reads it. It just keeps going on, and maybe if it had gotten more, if it had continued, and we had actually seen those changes like stick, or how this going into the 6th year, how it would have changed, then it might have been it might have been more of an impact to me. I still enjoyed rereading this, going back, because again, there's no big problems with the story. It's just not enough, and that's the thing. Like, just again, like I just said, it's incomplete, but I'm not gonna grade on potential. I'm gonna grade on what's there. Potentially, it might have been interesting. Maybe not amazing, since I don't think it'd be that big of a change, just like people just taking Harry more seriously. But the reactions are all interesting. Not really. It's mostly just everybody's like, oh, they're horrified that this is what he's had to go through and all that. It's still a fine read to go through once or twice, but it's just not impactful or interesting enough to stay on my list. So I'm going to be removing it from my list. But it's for like a once over, if you just want to see it and see like people reacting to the fact that holy shit, people keep trying to kill Harry, and finally realizing that fact instead of just having the adults just constantly skim over that shit. It's a good look. Alright. Next is The Power That Snivellus Knows Not. Snivellus being a I can't remember if it was actually in the book. I think it might have been mentioned in the book like once or twice. That's Sirius called him that as like an insulting nickname. It's very popular in fan fiction, so I'll tell you that, for a lot of people, just to make fun of Snape that way. But so this is a one-shot that's like 3,000 words, and it's a comedy one-shot. So, but it's a comedy one-shot that's a bit longer than some of them, 3K words, and it's a lot of like stupid shit. But I'm very fond of stupid shit. So it's written by a guy named Nonjon. A bunch of his stuff is on my list. I think previously one of them was already there, which I talked about, which is Where in the World is Harry Potter, and there's more obviously coming from him. But so this one, stupid thing, Harry and Tonks are plotting to kill Voldemort with like stupid idea after stupid idea, and then They go out and they freaking come up with an idea, and then they pull it off, and then they show it to Dumbledore or something. And it's just a lot of like stupidity and ridiculousness that goes on, which I love. Like I'm a very easy lay for stupid funny, for the most part. You have to, if you're like, I can't breathe stupid, I don't think I can handle you. But this kind of stupid humor and nonjon style, I love it. It's really funny. It's really short, in my opinion. Funny and well, both, because it's only 3K words. That's nothing. It's like a 5-10 minute read. So depending how slow you are. But this is it's a fun story. You can check it out. It's definitely staying on my list. All right. Next, another nonjon fic. Like I said, there's a lot of his stuff here. So this one is Lovegood, Boobs Gooder. And again, if the title didn't clue you in, yes, it's a comedy fic with a lot of bits of sexual humor involved. No actual sex scenes, just implied stuff. But it's just a comedy. 6 chapters. Again, not very long. Honestly, like, as I was reading it, I was just thinking, like, this is like basically the format of a really short like comedy anime. Like just a small anime thing, all the things, and it has the same kind of tone as well as a like over the top ridiculous comedy OVA anime, and I love it. Like I know previously in previous videos and like in the threads I've spoiled jokes and stuff, but that's the thing. Like this is just it's a comedy thing. It's funny. I don't want to spoil. The only thing I can really talk about to go with it is like spoiling the joke, and I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna say I really enjoyed it again and again. And like I said, if you want like a small Harry Potter anime that's really about some stupid shit and it's really funny, and again short, just takes place in again summer after 5th year, take a look. It's really fun, and it's staying on my list. Alright. Fic 5 is called Evil Be Thou My Good, which, another one-shot, a bit long. It's 40K words, which is the same size as the previous story I just talked about. But this is a crossover, even though it's not listed as one, because this was written before fanfiction.net had the crossover section. But it's a crossover with Hellraiser. And I don't consider that a spoiler, because in the summary it talks about the lament configuration, which if you knew anything about Hellraiser, you'd know. And if you don't know anything about Hellraiser, me telling you that doesn't fucking matter. I personally did not know anything about Hellraiser. I've never seen the movies, so I don't know shit about it. So I can't tell you how the characters from Hellraiser are portrayed, if they match or are faithful to the movies. What I can say is like they're basically portrayed as unstoppable demons who just like torture. So I guess I'm assuming that's most likely accurate. Basically, and this is again all from the summary, that like Harry opens the box, gets the box, opens it up, and when he's like 8 years old, Dursleys all die, and then eventually at the end of 6th year he ends up opening it again to deal with Voldemort. That's all in the summary. And honestly, that's the big 2 changes. Like the big change is that in the beginning, that's the first scene with the Dursley house, and then the scene at the end, which is the final confrontation with Voldemort and a bit of aftermath. The rest of it, it does go through his years, but it doesn't really. It just assumes that most of the stuff can and happen. The actual impact of the crossover is actually very subtle, and so what the writer does is just sprinkles in the scenes that would have changes due to the effects of the box on Harry. It's not much. There's like 1 or 2 scenes per year, and they're all very minor. So it just goes on, and there's no problems with the writing. It's all interesting. So if you want to see a Hellraiser Harry Potter crossover, or you want a Harry Potter crossover with like a slight just like a Harry Potter, like quick fix with a slight horror tinge, you wouldn't be remiss in checking this out. It's perfectly serviceable in that, and like I'm not a fan of horror. Like I don't like horror, but that's not why. Like if you can't tell, it's a good fic, but it's not going to be on my list. Like it's similar to An Ant's Love, where like I'll recommend it to people if it fits your taste, but it doesn't hit my sweet spot, so it's not staying on my list. Which is not to say all horror is, because I'm pretty sure there's some horror fics or like horror-esque fics on this list eventually. If not, I'm gonna have to go back and find them and then add it to the list so it'll show up. But yeah, this one just doesn't grab me, so it's gonna go off my list. But if you like I said, if you like Hellraiser and Harry Potter crossover, or you want Harry fic with a slight horror tinge, check it out for yourself. And the final one that I'm going to be talking about today is it's called Daily Profit My Ass, which is short. It's, again, like I said, one shot. This one is under 1,000 words, and it's listed as humor. So what that means, at least what I've seen that means when it's that short, is that it's one joke. So like the Power Snivellus Knows Not, like I said, that was also a one shot, and that was 3K words, and you can read it, you can say it's one long joke that's just Harry coming up with like ways to kill Voldemort, like that's the joke, but there's actually like just the ways he comes up with it is multiple things, and it's different avenues go through, and then there's different reactions and other stuff like that. This one, it's literally just one joke. It's a setup for one joke. Setup is a little overblown. The joke itself is not very original. You know, it's a gay joke, whatever. And again, not a spoiler. It's in the fucking summary. It's dumb, but it's not a terrible, like it's not a complete waste of time. It's a joke. It's stupid, but I smiled when I reread it. So like I said, I'm an easy lay for comedy. It's fine if you want to see if you just want to go through a dumb gay joke, you can go through it once. It won't take you very long, and it's not like it's a complete waste of time. Just mostly a waste of time. Nothing you ever need to reread more than once, and since that's like my idea of a favorites list is stuff that I would constantly go back and reread, this is getting off my list. And there we have it. You know, that's the end. 6 stories that I've gone through, 3 in, 3 out. So that's interesting. Hopefully I'll be able to keep doing this at maybe not this fast, but at a faster clip than I've been doing previously. All right. Thanks for if you've watched this or listen to this. I know it's not very visual, but thanks for clicking on this video. And if you want to see me, if you want to keep track of when I'm continuing, please subscribe, and you'll keep up with my journey. And also you might see if I make any other videos like I used to, which I don't know if I will. I haven't actually gone to the movies that often. I might do that more now since I'm a bit more comfortable around here. But yeah, so like and subscribe if you are interested in seeing more of me. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.